What's up, everybody? Jello here from the 219. I always want to do this video, but before I show you what I'm going to do, please subscribe. Helping me out. I'm at 450 something. Woo! Hey, I was at 2 one day, so here we go. Anyways, let me show you what our next project's going to be. All right, it is going to be a hunting box. This is kind of a modular. I built everything here. And I'm going to show you the construction. I'm not going to go over all the dimensions, just a basic concept of it. Your dimensions can change to your liking, but this is more of a concept video. And these actually, I've been using these for years. It's actually my brother. He designed them. He designed these years ago, and I just kind of copied them and changed them up a little bit. You know, just a couple little things we changed here and there. But let me show you how we build them. First thing would be the framing of the wall. And all the framing of the wall is I get like 8-foot 2x4s, and I rip them down the middle on my table saw. So I just cut them in half. So they're basically 1.5 by 1.5 ish. And depends how your 2x4s vary. So it might be a little bit more than 1.5 to one direction. So that is what the construction lumber is. And all I do is build a rectangle to whatever height I want. And I go 4 feet wide because that's the nominal size of the OSB or plywood, whatever you want to use for siding. So I basically build a rectangle. Okay. And then the only reason these are doubled up is because I reused this box. It's repurposed. So you could just use one right here and that's it. 2 is nice, kind of stiffen it up a little bit, make it a little bit stronger. So you could just use a 2x4 here if you wanted. But I just normally just run one of these across, and then do my door framing, whatever size door you want to do. And the base is 2x6 perimeter, and then I got 2x4s in there. I think I got 3 of them. Let's see where my screws are. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So I got 3 2x4s in there also, again, to your liking. Whatever's stiff enough. And then I put a piece of 1/2 inch, or this might be thicker than that. I think it's 1/2 inch OSB, but it's solid. I mean, that floor is solid as heck. And then for the siding, I'm trying something different and cheaper this year, kind of temporary. I'm using 1/4 inch OSB. And I know, I got the correct side out. Weather resistance wise, this versus plywood of that thickness, they're the same. They're classified as the same. I usually use plywood, but the ants get in it. The ants like to get in the ends of the plywood. They probably will here too, but I gotta put ant control down on the ground to kill them. So anyways, that's what I do for the siding, or I'm this year anyways. And then of course I leave a little ledge when I cut the OSB out. For the door framing, I got about a 5/8 ledge all the way around there. And then the door is the piece that I cut out. And then I also take a little bit more off of it after I cut it out to make it a little bit narrower so that it doesn't rub. And again, I frame that too. So everything's at 1 by 1.5 by 1.5. Just built the frame. And that door, you can see the bottom there. That'll go there. And then the top will go there. And I brought this top piece of the frame down a little bit. So I got a little bit of a gap so you don't smash your fingers in there when you close it. I should have about 1 inch gap in case you had your hand stuck in there. And I'll put a hinge on that and a lock. And I'm on the roof. Once I put right now where I'm at, I got the first side set on there. And I got a screw there and a screw there. I got it pushed up against her nice, pretty level. And that's the first part. And now the next frame, which would be the sides. You can see this frame here, the front and the back. The frame is the width of the plywood. Now when you come to the sides, you got to make it shorter by 1.5 inches twice. 1.5 inches here, 1.5 inches there. And I'll show you that when I get putting it together. That front frame will nest in here. So everything will be drawn up and create a 4 foot by 4 foot square. place this side on there and try to get a couple of screws zipped in the bottom to hold it. And I'll go to do the next side, same thing. You can see they're not real heavy. They're a little heavy, but not bad. Just set the ledge on there. Pull it up that way. So this piece, this 1.5 inches, goes up inside here. You can see that. It's pretty nice. It might stay. Yep. I'm gonna give it a little push on the bottom out here. Good. Nice. I like to pre-drill. Finish that a little bit. Gap in there. Huh. Something's out of square. Go. There. That's better. Okay. Alright, come down here and do the same on this end, and then put that side on. Wanted to go over one quick detail on the framing, and when you attach your siding, whatever you use, OSB or plywood, I leave 5.5 inches right here, and that's the, so it overlaps all this. So I'm gonna put it on. See your frame. Here's a 1x frame. Here's my plywood. The plywood's gonna run down the face right here, so it covers all that, and just a better weather sealing deal there. All right, gonna stick this side on there. Drill bit ready this time. And I'm just mocking this up right now. This is going to go out in the in our woods. I'm going to build get 4x4 legs, and I'll show you that later. But I built a platform above 4 feet, so I don't need orange on this legally. I'll probably get 4x4 8-footers, bury them 2.5, 3 foot deep. So platform end up around 5 foot-ish or so off the ground. That's all I really need. And that's what I do. I'll put the base up there first, and I'm doing what I'm doing right here. I'll do that out there. This is just a pre-fitting deal. It's not bad. It's good. All the way in. I feel like I can lift it up a little bit. good as it's gonna get. Now, I'll probably put some up here, pull the tops in, just the top corners, and I'm going to set the roof in. It's just a little easier before I put the back wall. Alright, I got everything, just the corners, all the corners I got to screw in, that's all I'm going to put in for now. I'll put all the rest in on the final assembly. I'm going to go ahead and throw the roof on now, hopefully. See, just so modular. It's perfect. It's pretty good. Pull them tight there. Pretty good there. That's pretty good there. That's the roof. Now, pull the back wall on last. Leaving yourself a door opening, so build yourself inside there. Give it a little bit better close-up of the roof. How it just kind of nested in there. So I made this frame. I made it smaller than, I think I made it like 43.5 inch. You can have some room there. You don't need to have that super tight. Having a little bit of gap in there is actually okay, because if you want to seal it with great stuff or something, you can. I used to do that. I really don't need to. I finished, I'll show you that later, but I finished the roof off with some roofing paper. And my other boxes, I've been putting steel trim corner pieces on. And I've been wrapping the bottom with about a foot of metal. Just wrapping it. Squirrels get up on the framing. They like to chew the bottom up. Alright, so that's the roof detail. And then when I do my final assembly, I'll just zip some screws in here. And they will go into the walls. 1.5 inch, the frame. So, yep, zip. I just put pretty much 2, boom, boom, 2, 2, 2, and 2. Roof ain't going nowhere. Alright, here's the back wall. It's a little trickiest one because everything has to fit now. I got less room. You probably can't see it much, but I do slope 3 inches from front to back on the side walls. I do got a little slope. I don't put a whole lot of slope in there, just enough. 3 inches will slope water off. And I'll show you what I do with the eaves to prevent leakage later. Probably should have left that screw right at the bottom. There we go. There it is. Good fit. Looks pretty good. Nice, good corner right there, all the way down. That wasn't important. Yep, it'll pull in. Sometimes you gotta put a ratchet strap around it to pull everything in, but that's good enough. All right, so that's the basic construction of the floor and the sides. Just showing you how modular it really is. I guess I'll pull all this in, you know, it'll all pull in and I'll screw it in. So that's the framing. There's a lot more detail still with the eaves, with the windows, how they work, with my seat, the door, the roof detail, like I said, the ceiling for the sides. I might just silicone this one for now, so I'm gonna put all the metal on it. You can wrap the whole thing in metal. My future box, the next one, the good one we're gonna build for this property, I'm gonna build it like a pole barn, sort of. I'm gonna use pole barn materials and build it like a cheap pole barn. Cheap. And I know I'm not using 6x6s. I'm just going to use probably 4x4 posts and start building my girts and frame it like that. So anyways, that's it for now. I'll catch up on this video later when I start getting some more going. Alright, there's a door. Just a couple hinges. Nice and quiet. And the hinges just screw into the framing, this frame here, and then inside frame here. That's where the other hinge, the other side of the hinge screws into. There, so I got good wood. I had to angle them in a little bit, but works out pretty good. Got a nice even gap around there, nothing rubs. Now I'm gonna go to the, I use this stuff, just like 1/4 inch by, I think it's 1.5 inches or something like that. I buy a bundle of it from Menards, and I put this stuff on like this, but I overhang it, just like overhang it a little bit like that. So I'll put 2 of them, and they'll come down to about here. I'll chop them off, both sides, and then I'll put one on top. Same thing. I'll hang it down a little bit, use about 1/2 inch, and then that's where the windows will be on the inside, and they hinge upward, and they're gonna go like this, and they're gonna hit this stuff, the ledge. But I'll show you that more in detail. All right, that's how I trim in the ceiling surface for the windows. So just 1.5 inches by 1/4 material, and I'll show you how it overhangs on the inside. So that's where windows will flip up and rest. So it creates a little ledge. And I'll get a little bit of just some felt. And I'll glue some felt on here so it's quiet when you shut them. And there's going to be a little flop down window. I'll show you those next. Now these, I got a bunch of small screws, and I'm going to glue them. Put a lot of glue on there. And then I'm also going to put glue right on this corner when I'm all done. A nice, good, solid bead, and push it in with my finger. And seal it really good all around here. I don't want no water getting behind this. Alright, I've got those trim pieces put on. So I just go around and put a bead of glue all the way around. Seal them up real good. And that will create that ledge for the windows to shut against. So those are all on. I got to scrape that glue out of there, that corner. So that step is done. Got the eaves all cut out. And all it is just basically that 1.5 by 1.5, you know, a 2x4 cut in half. And I cut a 10-degree angle on it. Just ripped it on the old table saw. And I just cut some OSB I had laying around, 5/8 I believe. Painted her up. I also put a 10-degree angle right there. You'll see why when I show you what it looks like on the box. And here's 10-degree angle I cut right there. I ripped on there. And this is nice there. I'll probably just put a nice bead of glue there. I'm gonna put a nice bead of glue all the way down there. And then I'll put the piece of OSB just right on top of that and screw it down. I think it'll hold. It's only 10 inches wide. I shouldn't need any more framing on that. That's what I'm doing. Other boxes I did in the past, I did frame this eave. I put a rectangular frame, and I don't know, I just don't think it's worth it. If you use really thin OSB or plywood for your actual eave, you will have to frame it. This stuff's pretty thick. I had laying around for flooring when I did the upstairs, so I'm just using it. It's pretty sturdy stuff, and I think this little deal here I built will hold all the weight. If not, then well. Oh, let me show you how I attached them. You definitely got to use fender washers. So just put 2 in for now, one down there, and they got it glued into place. I'll probably put maybe one more in the center, but yeah, that little deal should hold. All right, there's that little bit of bead of glue I ran on there to smear it in with my finger. It'll dry real nice, and it'll help seal that edge. And then OSB is gonna go on top of that. And I'll show you that next. I didn't put nothing on the bottom there, just whatever squished out I wiped off. No sense in doing that. Anything gets past here, I deserve it to leak. All right, well, there's a done deal. See that? Just glob of glue on there, push it in with your finger real good, and believe it or not, that'll seal. I just put 3 screws in there with fender washers. And I tell you what, the glue's not even set yet, and it's sturdy. It's sturdy as hell. So that's it. That's how my eaves work. Cheap and dirty. That's all you need. You can go fancy, but you don't really need to. Keep the sun out of your eyes and keep the rain out of your face. All right, I'm gonna finish those up, and then I'm on to the windows. For the windows, the weather stripping I use, you just got it at Menards. Just felt weather stripping. I've used the foam, dense and not dense foam, you know, with the sticky back to it. And it's just, when it gets cold out, not even cold, I mean, when it's hot out even, that foam tends to stick to my Lexan windows, and it's just really loud opening them. And I don't need that. I mean, this stuff seals enough. It's felt, it's about, I don't know, 3/16, 1/8 inch. Just say 3/16? Yeah, 3/16 thick. 5/8 wide, probably a short 5/8 wide. And that channel I left on my windows is about a 1/2 inch, so this will work. So all I do is I silicone where this is gonna stick to, and I stick it on. And that's it. It's quiet, it doesn't stick to my windows, it seals, and it does the job. So I'll show you how I'm putting that on next. Alright, sorry about all the noise, but anyway, I'm just gonna use this general purpose silicone. I'm gonna run it on this ledge here with a small, it doesn't mean much, just enough for the felt to stick. So first thing I do is cut my felt. The scissors is fine. Good right there. Test fit it. Pretty good. So I'll put the silicone in there. Don't need a lot. just a little bit sticky. All right. Yeah, it says 5/8 wide. It's not. It's like a 1/2 inch wide. I'll cut it a little bit short. You don't want to stretch it too much. I had it stretched. That's it. That's how the felt gets stuck on there. I'm going to do the same thing here on the other side, all the way around, and that's how we do that. There's the felt all stuck on there. Also, I do put one on the bottom. And I'll show you when these windows hinge, how that comes into play. And I kind of push it over a little bit tight right there. When the window's shut, I don't want a gap right there. Both sides. So yeah, that's pretty much how you keep your windows pretty much sealed and not noisy. Alright, I'm going to do the rest of them, then we'll move on to putting the windows in. Well, there's one of the windows got in, and all it is some polycarbonate. You know, I made them a little smaller than the opening of my window. I got to compensate for the felt I put in there that lifts everything up. So this one's a little bit close, a little closer than I like it. You know, you can have like that. That's fine. Nice little gap in there is good. It doesn't bind up. So yeah, all you really do is screw it to one of those 1.5 by 1.5, and 2x4 cut in half. And then that's my main frame, and I just get some screws. Hard to see them, but it's a drill and countersink, the Lexan. Put a little bead of silicone behind it and screw it on. Now this is an old Lexan, an old piece. This box is really old, so yep, it's broke. But these are sentimental windows to me, so I'm keeping them. See, we spent my dad's box years ago, not even years ago, a couple years ago, and has to keep these windows. I figured if the same glass he was looking through, I'm gonna look through for a while, so I'm keeping them. So yeah, a couple hinges, boom, boom, and that's it. I'll get me a little knob, like a little wood knob, and glue it on there or screw it on there, you know, so I can got something to usually open it with. But usually they don't sit real flat like right here. It's kind of bulged out. I can just grab it and open it. And then I'll put some of these. I don't really like these. I don't know. But I'll put some of these. I'll probably put like one here, one over here. And if need be, I'll put one here and one here. The only bad thing is the Lexan's a little higher than the wood right here, if I feel that. So these are going to have to be really loose to even get on there. So I don't know. I may not use these. I may make some wooden ones and then kind of clearance to, kind of like I did this. Kind of like I made this guy. I make some of those. I just kind of notch it out in the back side, the offset difference. And I don't know, I don't know, we'll see. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish mounting the rest of the windows, but that's how my windows work. Really simple, and they work. Here's a look from this side. You can see the windows, see it against that felt really nice. All the corners seal really good. And these boxes don't leak. I don't get any leakage in these things. This right here, the Lexan hangs down a little bit down. That's what really goes against that felt there. So nothing gets behind here. You know, if you had like a really bad wind-driven rain, yeah, you might get a little bit. But for the most part, these things do not leak when they're built like this. So we're going to finish up putting the windows in. And this thing's pretty much ready to, I'll put the camo paint job on and I'll show you that probably when I'm done. And it's ready to put up. And that's a whole nother deal. I'll have to show you how I'm going to get the posts ready and how I do the base. and then how I set this up on top of the base. There's my little turn clamps. Actually, I just stuck a little washer behind them. That's all I did. Just put a little washer behind there, and they are, look at that, nice and easy. Put 4 of them. Just 1 there, 2, 3, 4. And that window is solid. It's sealed. Perfect. So simplicity is the idea here. Less moving parts, simple windows. You don't need to put a frame all the way around them. We used to do that. It's just too much wood, too much weight. You don't need it. This works fucking awesome. So no, that's how I do my windows. Well, there's the windows all in. Everything is done and buttoned up on this box other than the paint job. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that next. All I'm using on the paint. Just bought some Menards dark brown, black, and that's it. And I got some lighter stuff here just for some highlights. And I don't really do any green. So just basically all dark shades. And I'll just draw some tree shapes on here. Just trunks, branches, and things like that. So that's what I'm doing next. That's probably kind of a little hard to see, but that's all I do. Just kind of draw some branches and a couple little highlights here and there. Just put a little bit of black here, a little bit of light there. Gives it kind of a shadow look. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and finish the other 3 sides. And take this thing apart. And I'm going to go out in the woods and start digging my holes after I get my post hole digger fixed. Damn thing, always broke. All right, so I do have some plans for this box, like actual blueprints. So I have a material list to make it just like this one is. Pretty well. This one's actually a little bit odd sized compared to the prints I have. The prints I have are actually, the box is taller, a few inches. Pretty close to the same thing. That was my first build, so I changed some dimensions a little bit. But the prints I have are for my new kind of taller design. You can use this video for a guide on how to build it. Message me, and I will sell you some prints for this guy. There's a million ways to put your seat in. I like this way. So I just kind of established the height of the seat per individual. I don't like to crouch down looking out the windows. I don't like to have to look up. I just kind of sit there. I mock up a fake seat until I get it where I want it. And that's what I do. I just frame out That's just a framed out deal. These are just 2x4s, and I carpet them. So when I slide this on there, that's why I like this, because I can slide it back and forth. You know, if I want to maybe look out that window and make that the front of the box, I'll slide the seat this way and look that way. It's nice and quiet. It's sturdy. You could fit 2 people on there, store your stuff underneath, whatever. But that's what I like to do. You know, you put a rolling chair in here, but that just makes noise. Even carpet on there, it just makes noise. So this is what I come up with. And it's only like 10 inches wide too. Don't need to be all that wide, you know, this way. And that's how I attach the seat 2x4, put the carpet on it. I attach it through the outside with a fender washer and a long screw, 2.5 inch screw. It pops through the other side, so I just gotta lop them off with a cutoff wheel. But that's how I do that. All right, made it outside. So basically all I did was, you know, my dimensions are going to be different than anybody else's possibly, but outside of these 4xs, outside to outside, will be 45 inches. That'll fit into the floor when they're all level and where they're supposed to be. The floor I built will go right on top, and I'll lag them in. So I got to get them kind of square, so I went ahead and put some batter boards up there. I'll string some lines at 45 inch, and I'll start setting these poles. All right, got my strings all ran to the outside of the pole dimension. I went ahead and got it square, corner to corner, within 1/4 inch, 3/8 or so. Kind of hard doing it by yourself, but close enough for what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and drop the poles back in, and this will be the inner corner. All right, here's the inner corner of the pole, or outer corner, should I say. You can see it'll fall right down in that hole, just right. So it'll be just like this. So I'll go ahead and drop all the poles in there and start getting them halfway plumb. Poles are all set, plumb, spaced and squared and everything like they're supposed to be. So I just double checked 45 inch across the outsides all the way around, top and bottom, 45 inch down to 44 and 7/8. If anything, you want the tops to come in a little bit, not out, because I got to fit the floor on. I don't want to have to force them in there, and I'll, you know, screw it all together, I'll lag it all together, it'll all pull in. But you just want to make sure you're not too big at the top. So that worked pretty good. Batter boards, string line. That's kind of what I did. I concreted them in. I know concrete can rot the poles, but this thing ain't going to be here for 20 years. If I can get 5 to 8 out of it, I'd be happy. So, gonna start putting my 2x4 bracing at the bottom. I'm gonna come up here, probably about a foot down, put bracing around on the outside. Then I might do little crisscross ones also. And then I'll probably do some outriggers, like one there for that direction and one that way for that direction. Something down into the ground. I'll probably sink a post into the ground. Something for my brace to screw to. Just takes out any wobble. Got holes all filled in. Holes are pretty solid, so I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the base trim or baseboards up around there. Then I'll probably come up here and tie the top in too. Got the baseboards on. Just kind of got them all level on the same plane. Measured up. Got the first one started level. Tying the other 3 in. Having a C-clamp really helps by yourself. I'm just shooting one screw in the corners for now. Then I'll put some lags in behind it. Looking pretty good though. Nice and level. And I should be able to figure out where my tops are and get them all on the same plane. I'll probably do some sawing on them. Get them all pretty close. I know they're off a little bit. All right, I got the laser out. Trying to find my lowest one. That one there. And this one. So I'll just go ahead and scribe a line on all my posts all the way around and then cut them off to that height. Tops are all cut to the same height, so now everything's level. All four corners look just like that. So now when I put the floor on, which is the next step, you'll see that tomorrow. That's it. That floor, when that floor sets on, everything's based off of that. So, you know, if these are all leaning, the whole box will be leaning. So I get those all the same height. I just zip them off with a little saw, and that's it. Back at it today. Got the base. I'm gonna try to throw that thing up here by myself. Shouldn't be too hard. Just kind of get it up there on the uprights, or those upper braces there, kind of balance it enough to where I can get underneath it, lift it up and position it, and it should fall right on there. Yeah, right. I brought the big hammer just in case. Got it muscled up there to that point. Now I'm going to just crawl up under there and flop it down, lift it up over my head and drop it down. I got to there. I'm gonna have to get the hammer, maybe a ratchet strap, and bring this end in just about a 1/4 inch. Got the ratchet strap around there. Just gonna pull it in just a little bit to drop right on. Right there. Started. All right, now I get the hammer. Got the BFH. Look at it, even things up a little bit. Down. That looks nice. Good. 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 This thing is solid. I don't even think I need outriggers. I mean, I don't think I need them. So next step, make sure I got the front. I'm good. Front. I didn't even check. So, well, I did, but I didn't double check. So now I'm gonna go back to the shop and grab the walls and start sticking the walls up, opposite order I did inside the shop earlier. So let's go. Next load ready to go. The back piece and the side piece. I'll come back, grab the other side and the front. All right, threw two sides up there. I'll go ahead and maybe film the other one side or two sides. I don't know. I kind of already showed that in the shop how I put it together. I'm just doing the same thing. So I just kind of balance it up here and climb up there and I pull it up. Real easy when they're this short. I got some probably 10, 12 footers. They're a little bit more difficult. But we didn't need all the height here. We got this big old ridge. We're on top of it right now. I mean, the floor is 6 foot, and this ridge, I know it's hard to see, but down there where my finger is, that spot right up in there, it's about a good 10, 15 foot drop. All the way down. You kind of see it sloping down. On this side, same thing. Down back over there is about 10, 15 foot drop. So right on top of this crest. Our house is right over there. Right there. Nice short walk, food plot. Another food plot down there, didn't do so well. Not enough sun. So anyways, two more sides. All right, I made a little error. I can't have those lag bolts sticking out because of the plywood, or the OSB needs to sit nice on here. So I'm just going to pull them all out. I'm going to zip some temporary screws in here for now. Probably not going to need to actually, but I'm going to zip them all out, put the sides back on, and then I'm going to go through the bottom. I'll drill new holes and go through that way. Yeah, I just don't like that OSB pooching out because of those bolt heads. See them all the way down there. I can't have that. So I'm going to fix that real quick. All right, lag screws are out. I'm going to go ahead and put those three sides on. I'll probably go ahead and time lapse it so you can see how quick it actually goes up. Actually quicker than what it goes up because it's a time lapse. Here you go. I got the roof. I'm just going to throw it up on here. And then I'm not going to show you that because I need my ladder to get back up in here. I ain't jumping in and out again. Too old for that shit. So, get up in there. Right, too old for this shit too. Oh well, that'll work. Went the wrong way. Alright, yeah, hurry up and get up there. Alright, got the roof set in there, it just set down, nothing screwed in. I kind of just balanced out best I could until I pull the front in, because the front's going to set the sides, how, you know, so I'm not in or out. It'll kind of suck up to the framing of the front when I shove it up in there. Once that's in place, then I'll balance the roof out best I can and zip some screws around that frame. Alright, I had the front on already. Realized the door was locked from the outside. I couldn't unlock it. So I had to lower it back down, unlock the door. Now I'm going to go back up and do it again. Alright, there it is. It's up. A couple small details. The roof. And then silicone the corners. Come out with some paint. Paint the screws. All the silver shit showing. Put a little camo pattern on the legs. And it's a done deal. So yep, got the lags back in there. That's the better way to do it. I go through everything. So all this is sucked up real nice now. No more gap under there like I had. Nice and tight. Corner looks pretty good. Just a bead of silicone down that. You could buy some metal. Put some metal on there and screw it. I've done that in the past. I've actually wrapped these about a foot up with metal. Keep the squirrels from jumping on here and chewing it all up, because they're going to chew the hell out of this until I get it wrapped with some metal. So anyways, there's that. I'm going to go eat lunch and come back with the roof material and taller ladder. Alright, I'm up inside here. Just want to show you the roof attachment. That's all I do. Just put one screw there, one screw there, and that screws into the side frame, 1.5 by 1.5. You know, it's right behind here. So it screws right into that. I only put 2 on this side and 2 on that side. That's all it needs. I don't need a whole bunch in there. It ain't going anywhere. I did have to put a couple in the top going down into the side frame to pull down some gaps outside. So I kind of did that. Put one on, I kind of had to put one on the outside of this frame too, up high to suck it in this way. So my corners, outside corners are tighter. So I'm ready to crawl on top of the roof now and fill any gaps in with silicone and put the roofing material on. Alright, here's how I do the roof. It's just that sticky roof material. Cut 2 pieces. That's the high side, this is the low side, so I overlapped it accordingly. I don't put any staples on top. I let the tar kind of do its thing. I just fold this down. I might put a little bead of silicone behind here. You really don't have to. You put a lot of staples in there. I just kind of fold it down, and I'll put some staples on this bottom side all the way down. And then this side, I kind of just fold this thing over some kind of way and put some staples in there, a little silicone there. And that's it. I'll work my way all the way around this thing and do that. And that will not leak. I also did silicone. I'll show you now or not, but up under here, right there, silicone the wood real good. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and button that up. A little sneak peek out of our new box on our property at home. Oh yeah. There it is, minus the ladder. Gonna make that tomorrow. I'll just put a little cross brace up right there and put a short little ladder up there and a piece of carpet for the inside. And she's ready to hunt. I'll show you the silicone. There's the silicone in the corners all the way up. Maybe you can see the overlap. Silicone that up all really good. Stapled it. All the way down. Silicone. And I even silicone. I had a little extra, so I went underneath, all the way down. Just right there. Keeps all little bugs out. They're gonna get in there anyways, but you know, limit it. Less spots, less bugs. So tomorrow's the ladder, and I'm gonna button this thing up. Well, there it is. Got the ladder on there today. Just a simple ladder. That didn't really show how I built it. It's just a ladder. Kind of buried in the ground about 4 or 5 inches, and it screws into the framing right there, the back side. I can show you that real quick, but there it is, done deal. And that's how I put these things together. So there we are, just kind of buried a little bit. Keep the first step kind of close to the ground. 1 foot each step. Leaves a nice little step to step up and in there when you're done, or up to the top. I just cut a little bit of an angle there to match the angle of what I want the ladder at. And I just screwed them with some washers and deck screws. That's it. So, that is it. Alright, she's all done. Just put the carpet in there, and that is a wrap, other than the blinds. I gotta put blinds in there, but let's go check it out. Nice and quiet. All that work, we gotta kind of see what it looks like, right? All right, close that door. That's what I was saying before. I didn't want it too tight right here. Smash your fingers if you happen to do that. So here it is. Here's my view. That's out the front window. Here's out the food plot. Getting late. I put it in way late. But you know, they're in there every night eating it, so it doesn't matter. The other food plot's down the hill. Right about the middle of the screen. Barely can't see it. Here's out my right window. Got a lot of, I'm putting a camera here in a little bit. I got a lot of activity through here. I don't get on my, I got a camera over there and a camera over here. And I got bucks slipping through right here. And then behind us. It's about a 15-foot drop down there where the green is. That's where the house is. All right. That's gonna do it. That's my video. That's how I put these boxes. That's how I build them. That's how I put them up. Nice and modular, and just a good deal. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this video wasn't too long, and hopefully if you want to build one of these, this video will help you. Please subscribe if you haven't. If you have, thanks, and I will see you next time.